Jennifer, I'm going to take you to St. Petersburg today. I love this story I'm going to tell you about. I'm going to tell you about a guy named Nick Reali. And we are at Nick Reali Woodturning. Got a beautiful studio here in the old southeast of St. Petersburg. By the way, if you haven't been to the old southeast, what a gorgeous place in St. Petersburg. The water's just right on the other side of this building. Just gorgeous. There's Nick actually working in there right now. But I love this story because Nick Reali spent 30 years with the Pinellas Park Fire and Rescue. He retired from the fire department after 30 years, and his wife said, "Will you make me a birdhouse?" And he's like, "I don't want to be the old retired firefighter sitting around making birdhouses." But he did want to do something with his hands, so he tried wood turning, and he made a pen, and he was hooked. And, oh, I forgot my problem. Hold on. Let me show you what he...
He's coming back.
At what he does.
Let me see.
Look at what he creates now. It is unbelievable. And what I love about it, he only uses wood from Pinellas County. He'll get trees from Pinellas County, and usually trees that are being, they're dead and they're being taken out for other reasons. He'll salvage that wood, and he will turn them into beautiful bowls and cutting boards and spoons and pens and rings. He's making wedding rings for some folks. And he's gotten really into this, and he's really good at it, this retired firefighter. So I'm going to show you how he does what he does, tell you about his inspiration. He's got to have hit some of his artwork at a Florida Craft Art Festival coming up the 23rd and 24th of November. So stick around, everybody. We're having a good day with Nick Reali. We hope you have one with us.
Yeah, it's so crafty. That's beautiful. All right, Charlie, thank you.
We love those folks over there. Hey, you want to see something? You want to see something really cool? You want to see something really beautiful? Look at that. And at one time, everything you see here was a tree in Pinellas County. And that retired firefighter right over there, he can turn those gorgeous Pinellas County trees into gorgeous works of art. I'll introduce you to him when Good Day Tampa Bay continues from St. Petersburg.
Shall we get to Charlie?
I think so.
Hey,
Charlie.
Good day, Russell and Laura. I'm going to introduce you to Nick Reali, retired Pinellas Park firefighter. And for some reason, chunks of trees just show up sometimes on his doorstep. He doesn't even know who brought them sometimes. All wood from Pinellas County, and he can pull something like that right out of it. I can't wait to introduce you to him and show off his work. Laura Moody?
All right. Charlie, thank you. This morning out at Nick Reale Woodturning. I'm on it, Charlie.
It's actually Reali.
Reale. That's right. You just said that with an E.
I had to practice that too. R-E-A-L-E. Nick Reali. He's standing right there. Am I out of the way right here? Okay. Okay, good. When we come back, I'm gonna show you how he takes trees from Pinellas County and turns them into beautiful works of art. You sure I'm not in the way? Yeah. All right, good. Stick around, everybody, and let's try to turn ourselves a good day, Tampa Bay.
Fox 13 News is brought to you by...
Good day, Tampa Bay. I'm Charlie Belcher coming to you from St. Petersburg this morning from Nick Reali Woodturning Studio. And there he is right there, Nick Reali, ladies and gentlemen. Retired Pinellas Park firefighter.
That's right.
30 years.
30 whole years.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for the paycheck. I really need it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, now you're giving back to the community. So here's what happens. You retire, and your wife says, will you make me a birdhouse?
Yes.
And you think, I don't want to be the retired firefighter sitting making birdhouses all day.
Yeah, what a stereotype, right? Yeah, no, I don't want that.
So you said instead,
Well, I made her a birdhouse, of course.
Okay. Of course.
And I liked it. I really enjoyed it. So I made a few more birdhouses, and I really enjoyed that. But I didn't want to be that stereotype. So my beautiful wife bought me a pen-making lathe.
Okay.
So I got some exotic woods, some videos, started making pens that I just basically gave away to everybody because I thought they were so cool. And that got me into wood turning. And as time went on, I learned about exotic woods and really where they came from, and they were very expensive, and they're taking forests down all over the world so that Nick can make pens. So I started looking at our local trees or local whatever we have here. It's not just palm trees and oak trees.
Right.
So I started finding rosewood, red gum eucalyptus, camphor trees, Florida sugar maple, all different kinds. So I started learning how to dry them and process them. And a friend of mine, Jeff, he has a tree recovery business, Altitude Tree Service, and he started bringing me gigantic logs. And I've
As it
learned
turns out, we've got beautiful trees in Pinellas County.
beautiful trees, hardwood, softwood, anything you want that'll make anything beautiful, and it can all be dried and used for many different.
How many years have you been wood turning now?
I've been wood turning for about 7 years.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's gorgeous works of art. In fact, you're going to be showing at Florida Craft Art Festival.
Florida Craft Art Festival, 23rd and 24th of November. And it's right on Central Avenue. They close the whole road down for 2 days.
Can't miss it.
No.
All right, when we come back, will you kind of give us a little bit of a lesson and show us how you do this?
You bet.
Take us through the process? All right, Nick Reali Woodturning. Is it at nickrealiwoodturning.com?
That's right.
Nick Reali, and Reali is R-E-A-L. It's real with an E. It's real with an E. nickrealiwoodturning.com. Check out his work. Laura,
Yeah.
The guy's an artist.
I know, and just something about the smell of a woodshed. You know what I mean? That sawdust and earthy, you know?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see you next
Smells
time.
very manly in
It's
here.
very manly, exactly. All right, thank you, Charlie. We'll be right back.
Good day, Tampa Bay. I'm Charlie Belcher coming to you from St. Petersburg this morning, enjoying the old Southeast neighborhood. Nick Reali Woodturning Studio, that's where I am. That's Nick Reali. Retired as a lieutenant. I think that's important. I got to add that. He was a retired lieutenant from Pinellas Park Fire and Rescue. 30 years as a firefighter. Thank you for that. And now he's an artist. Do you consider yourself an artist? You should.
I'm told I'm an artist.
You're an artist.
I like to think I'm more of a craftsman, but
Oh, okay.
I'll go with artist.
All right. All right, I got you.
Whatever.
Craftsman's a little more manly.
Feels better. Feels better.
Goes with the stash.
Yeah, well, that comes with the fire department.
Yeah, I know, exactly. I can't tell you're a returned firefighter.
No.
I digress. But you use wood and trees from Pinellas County. And
Yes.
most people who do wood turning are trying to, the more exotic woods, the better. You're finding stuff right here in this county.
Right, I'm finding, and I insist upon it. So there's plenty of beautiful trees and wood, hardwood, softwoods here in Pinellas County, throughout Florida. Actually, they grow all over. The eucalyptus trees, the red gum eucalyptus, the blue, the yellow. I even had some rainbow eucalyptus at one point.
And you're not cutting down trees just to make bowls.
No.
You're basically getting wood that otherwise would have ended up as mulch or something.
I am having it delivered here instead of the dump.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get it as big logs. So like this is a Mediterranean black olive tree that was growing in St. Pete Beach. That's part of the trunk.
And you gotta. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. These are cedar logs from North Pinellas County, and I get them like this. And typically, I got to let them dry out for 4 or 5 months.
That's what I was going to ask you. You got to dry them, and that takes a long time.
It takes almost a year to dry it to where I can create something that isn't going to crack or.
Let's go show the creation point. By the way, that's some of the finished product. All of that from trees in Pinellas County is beautiful. So you get it on the lathe there, Nick.
That's right.
And then go ahead. How does it begin?
So you saw the big round logs. The first thing I do is they'll be cut in half. So this was the top of the log. They're cut in half because bowls are done from the side. And then I'll cut them on a bandsaw to make them somewhat round. Then I'll throw them onto the lathe and slowly start turning it and taking away the bark. If I'm going to start with a big piece like this, I'm going to get the general shape of the bowl. I'm going to start laying out in my head how I want it to look and what the wood gives me. So you can see this one has a lot of cracks in it, a lot of check marks. This is a piece of avocado. So any tree that bears fruit here in Pinellas County makes beautiful, beautiful wood.
Nice. Lots
of grain, lots of figure.
When we come back, we'll get that lathe turned on and show you how he perfects these and then what he does afterwards.
Okay.
Finished
Beautiful.
product.
Beautiful. Okay, thank you.
Right? It's
Yeah.
gorgeous. All right.
All right, we're just about to ship this. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
I was
you.
there with you. I was not.
It's okay. Charlie Belcher. Hey, what's going on? Thank you.
That's my kind of humor.
Thank you.
That's my kind of humor.
Thank you.
I'm not sure that's a compliment, but that is my kind of humor. I like that. Because he was an Oklahoma Sooner.
That might have something to do with it.
That
might be it.
Might have something to do with it. I am admiring more of the artwork. I mean, he calls himself a craftsman. I call him an artist. Nick Reali, he's over there doing his thing on the lathe, turning wood that comes from Pinellas County into gorgeous works of art. We're firing up the lathe with him when Good Day Tampa Bay continues from St. Petersburg. Good day, dogs and kids, yeah, craftsmen. Good day, Tampa Bay. I'm Charlie Belcher. Well, stay there for a second, Jason. Let me get this out first. Good day, Tampa Bay. I'm Charlie Belcher. That's Nick Reali. We're having way too much fun in between the segments. But before Jason moves away from that, I want to show you this is the finished product. This is what this man creates out of wood right from Pinellas County. Been doing it for about 7 years now. He was a lieutenant with the Pinellas Park Fire and Rescue, retired after 30 years of service, and we all appreciate that very much. But now I think we might appreciate, not more than firefighting. We have our houses on fire. I'm going to appreciate that more than a bowl. But we appreciate the art that you are creating here. In the last segment, we saw kind of how the wood begins. You got to dry it out. Finally gets on the lathe. Take us through this process a little bit, Nick.
So what I showed you before was forming the outside, and now I'll be scooping out the inside basically, and I'm going to leave this bark and all of the different shapes here on the
like
outside.
So for this particular bowl, you're going to leave it unfinished rim there?
I am. I'm going to leave that.
All right,
and,
show us. And you can make as much noise if you need.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it's fine.
So we're going to place it, and we're just going to start scooping out.
And much like a sculptor, I think the famous saying from a sculptor is you just remove everything that's not that is not the figure you're sculpting.
Yes.
Kind of saying that you're just taking away everything that isn't a bowl.
I'm taking out the negative space.
Now the pitfalls of this obviously is if you go too fast or if you push it a little too much, it's going to crack or break.
It's going to break, or I'm going to go through it. I might end up going through the bowl or making it too thin. The whole idea is you've got to make it equal on all sides, or else the wood is going to shift.
Right.
And you're going to end up with cracks or maybe a bowl down the road that isn't what you want.
How long does this process take?
This process, including the sanding and the finishing, takes a few hours. The longest part is drying the wood, which can take up to a year.
And then when you want to stop that? Sure. Because I want to walk away over here and just show, when you're finished with it, you don't stain it or anything.
No.
You literally are just putting a wax over it?
Right. There's no stain. I never stain anything. This is simply wax that's put on at a high speed, so it melts into the pores in the wood and it seals it, and it makes a beautiful finish.
Because I like that on the bottom too, it always puts what kind of wood it is. This is rosewood. And I like that. When we come back, we're going to show you more examples of Nick's work. Nick Reali, by the way, his work will be on display at the Florida Craft Art Festival coming up the 23rd and 24th of November on Central Avenue in downtown St. Petersburg. Stick around, everybody. More Good Day Tampa Bay. Right after this.
Charlie Belcher, good morning.
And Russell's not talking about me. You're talking about Nick Reali, and you're absolutely right. The retired lieutenant from Pinellas Park Fire Rescue spent 30 years saving lives. He retired. Now he spends his time making beautiful works of art all out of wood from Pinellas County, from the biggest of bowls to a tiny little butt vase to even a ring. Oh, Nick, I think we're engaged. Look at that. I feel like Cinderella. It fits. It's amazing what he can do. And we're going to show off some of his works of art, and I'll tell you how you can see even more of it when Good Day Tampa Bay continues from St. Petersburg.
On Old Town Road almost didn't get a remix just showing off some extremely talented woodworking this morning. We'll be right back.
Yeah, Good day, Tampa Bay. I'm Charlie Belcher coming to you from the old southeast neighborhood of St. Petersburg, hanging out with Nick Reali right here. This guy is a retired lieutenant from the Pinellas Park Fire Rescue, 30 years saving lives and putting out fires, and I guess as a lieutenant managing other firefighters.
Guys, let me manage them.
And then he retired, and 7 years ago he decided to get into wood turning, and my goodness gracious, this man is a craftsman, and this is what he does, all from wood from Pinellas County.
Pinellas County trees.
And
every
you
one
get
of them.
you're saving them from going to the dump. You're not out there cutting down trees to
No,
make
no.
bowls.
They come from trees that are either fallen in storms, or people are having them removed from their yards.
Right.
And I'm lucky enough to be able to gather them up.
Let's go through some of the different types of woods that people wouldn't necessarily think are going to make decent art. This smells fantastic.
Yeah. That's a camphor bowl.
Camphor. That's what
which
it smells like.
a lot of people think that eucalyptus has that smell, but it doesn't.
It smells like
it's
real
the
menthol.
Yep, exactly. And so that was a big tree, as you could tell.
Right.
This is a red eucalyptus, which is typically just really beautiful wood. But to look at the tree, you wouldn't like it very much. It doesn't look like much of a
What's something
tree.
like this? It gives us a different color. What is that?
And that's a Florida sugar maple.
Sugar maple.
Yep. And most people don't even know that a type of maple tree grows in Florida.
And I just want to point out, you're doing tiny stuff like rings and bud vases.
Yep.
I like the little compartment containers you're doing. And then, I mean, to put threads on.
Wooden threads. Yeah.
Wow, that is I gotta line it up. You are a craftsman. Florida Craft Art Festival is coming up. Not this weekend, but the next, November 23rd and 24th.
Correct.
Your work will be on display there.
My work will be there, booth 522.
Nice, and that's all along Central Avenue, downtown St. Petersburg.
2 blocks, 4th Street to 6th Street on Central Avenue. It's closed for 2 days.
Florida Craft Art Festival. That's November 23rd and 24th. Russell Rhodes, from fighting fires to turning wood. Nick Reali.
Impressive. Very impressive.
All right.
Hey, see you later. High-tech cars normally mean high